it's Jackie and welcome back for another 60s inspired makeup tutorial. I feel like this one is the most wearable one I've ever done, and it's of course inspired by one of my favorite beauty icons, Jane Birkin. She was a British-born actress but became a celebrated French icon, lived in France majority of her life, and she did inspire the Birkin bag. Pin the bangs back and let's start with skincare. This has become my go-to moisturizer. It's by the French brand Caudalie. It's pronounced like totally. Fresh, hydrated skin is everything for this look. I can't believe I've already gone through 3 of these. This is the Premier Crew line. It is anti-aging, so I wouldn't recommend it under 25, but it feels amazing. It's not harsh or anything. And I'm skipping separate eye cream today because I'm going in with another iconic French skincare brand. Thank you to Typology for working with me on this portion of the video. I think you will love these products. They are very unique. First up, we're evening out the skin tone with the Typology Paris Tinted Serum. I picked up 2 shades. This is my usual. It is Tinted Serum Type 1 Fair, great neutral shade. And then I also got this slightly warmer shade, but when I tested both, Type 1 Fair was still my better match. And French girl skin is all about sheerness. You should still see your freckles and real skin underneath. The formula contains vitamin C, squalane, and aloe vera, lightweight with the perfect amount of real coverage. And can we just appreciate the packaging here? Everything is so minimalistic. I love the aesthetic of this brand. Okay, these bangs are killing me. I need to just have them forward. Yay for Birkin bangs. And I'm following up with the Typology concealer. You can apply this directly on the face. I like to just add some on the back of my hand. And again, this isn't just a concealer. It's loaded with active ingredients like niacinamide and caffeine. This will help to reduce the appearance of puffiness and dark circles both immediately and over time. It really does feel like you're just putting on like a cooling eye cream. I'm not sure I need any more coverage anywhere else, maybe around my nose. Sometimes I get a bit red. This looks beautiful together. I love makeup, but I do have a bit of a fear of my skin looking too makeup-y in person, and this is like the perfect combo. Another favorite I have is their lip oil. This one is in powder pink. Hydration and just a little bit of color. These could live on a minimalist vanity as decor. They're so pretty. I don't even think I need a powder with this combo. The skin looks amazing, and if you want to check it out, Typology Paris is linked down below in my description box. You can receive this free lip care set, a peeling mask and repairing mask with any purchase of $50 or more from Typology Paris. Some of my favorite Jane Birkin looks are when she's quite tanned. I have just a tiny bit of a tan, so I picked an inspiration photo that's like in between, but it's totally up to you. I'm speckling some of the matte bronze shade from this Makeup Forever palette that I use in every tutorial over my cheeks, just for a sun-kissed look. And then taking the contour shade mixed with a tiny bit of the warmer tone as well, accenting the cheekbones. She has beautiful cheekbones. A little bit higher than mine. This part is totally optional, but I love to do slight contouring, one to enhance my features, but also slightly emulate whoever the inspo is. Jane spent a lot of time outdoors. You see photos of her with a really natural tan and lots of freckles. I have only a couple freckles, so I'm gonna enhance that. I just used an eyeliner. This is the Makeup Forever Limitless Brown. I did little dots and I still haven't powdered, and tapping over those dots makes them blend into the skin. It looks very natural. You can skip this of course, but I think it really adds character. And for blush, while this isn't an iconic French brand, it is another minimalist brand. That's amazing. This is the Merit Beverly Hills Flush Balm. This is beautiful and balmy. And I'm taking this higher on my cheek. Ooh, maybe I should have done my freckles after the blush. Touch of this color on the nose. To set, I don't want to look powdery. I want to see that balmy texture from the blush still, but this will help it last. For brows, one of my favorites from the drugstore is this L'Oreal Paris Ultra Fine Tip Shading Pencil, and I picked up the shade Blonde to go with this wig I'm wearing. Uh-oh. And that was my power going out. We're 2 hours later, let's do the brows. And I just etched in a couple of stray hairs at the front, made them look quite soft. And her brows were fullest through the front, so I also took the Typology fortifying brow gel and just added that a little bit there. You could just go ahead and use this. I just love to add a couple hair-like strokes to make sure they're even. Now for the eyes, where Jane's look really comes alive. Mapping out with some simple shadows. This is by Makeup by Mario, my most used neutral palette. Taking this shade here and lightly dusting it over my lid. Using this taupe in the crease, mainly focused between the eye and then winged out. Keep everything really blended. Also the matte lightest shadow on the brow bone. If you want your eyes to look bigger, you can go in with this light matte shadow or even a little bit of shimmer, but my eyes are bigger and a little bit more deep set, so that's why I took this more muted shade that's just a little bit deeper than my lid to kind of make my eyes a little bit less dramatic, because I don't want this to look like Sharon Tate, for example. I do want it to be a little bit more subdued. Then for the crease, I'm using this Merit shade. It is Iris, a beautiful bronzy taupe. And with a tiny brush, I'm creating that crease shape. This is really easy to use and pretty forgiving, so it's great to map out the shape. Some of my other bold 60s looks, I enhanced the crease, but this time I just went straight into the crease and then added a slight wing. Actually, her wing didn't go so much outward, but kind of down a little bit. Jane's crease looks a little bit more natural because when her eyes are straight open, you don't see it. It's just a detail when she is looking down. To build up the crease, we want something waterproof so it isn't sliding everywhere. This is the Makeup Forever Aqua Resist Color Pencil in Unlimited Ivy. This is a purpley shade. I tried this with only browns and it didn't come across deep enough. So I'm taking this beautiful purple and we're etching this in one more time. Then just taking my time blending out so everything is soft. And anywhere I want a little bit more depth, this deep brown. Also taking this neutral gray taupe underneath my bottom lashes. And I'm so excited to draw on the little lashes. I love this Lawless Easy Eyes Ultra Precise Liquid Liner. This is in black. I'm really carefully etching along and creating a very tiny line, and instead of swooping up, I'm swooping it down a little bit. And then etching in those iconic Jane Birkin inspired lower lashes. In some Jane looks, she honestly just looks like she's wearing mascara. Some it's very subtle. I went with a little bit more of a dramatic look because I love this detail. I'm looking at this black and white shot. Pencil, this one is in Boundless Bisque. This is nice because it's not quite a white, so it won't be as dramatic, but add it into the waterline just on the outer corner if you want to open up those eyes. And drawn on bottom lower lashes were so big in the 60s, like Twiggy, but Jane's version was a little more subtle. And this is the Lancôme Curl Goddess. I really don't want them to look spidery. I'm just doing a light coat top and then touching the bottom lashes. Thought they looked a little too dramatic and like clumped together, so I took a clean spoolie and just made sure that they looked fluffy and natural. My eyes are rounder, so it's looking a little bit more dramatic, but I love this. Finally, for the lips, Jane had a signature style where she would enhance just the upper lip and it was kind of unblended. This is great to do if you do have a smaller upper lip and you want to balance out your upper lip and bottom lip. So I'm underlining here with this Lawless pencil. In some photos of Jane, you can see that there's a highlight above the lip too. She kind of did like a lip flip with makeup. And finally, back with the Typology lip oil. Again, this is powder pink. Such a pretty shade and very hydrating. Oh my god, yes, this is so Jane. You can always blend out the upper lip if you want it to be a bit more subtle, but I wanted to do all of her techniques today. And I wanted to finish off this look with the fragrance. This is one of my favorite vintage French fragrances. It's Jicky by Guerlain. Jicky is one of the first modern perfumes ever created, dating back to the late 1800s. This is the newer version, but I love it. I originally picked this up when I was doing the Sharon Tate inspired look because this is one of her favorite perfumes, and ever since I grab for it all the time. If you want to love Chanel No. 5 but it's just not your thing, this one has a similar old-timey scent, but I just prefer this much more to Chanel No. 5. I'll have the notes on screen. It's a little bit masculine, but an iconic vintage French scent you should try. Okay, maybe I'm getting carried away, but this is on my vanity and I wanted to share a modern fragrance that I also have been loving that I don't normally go for. I was sent the Lancôme Peaches and Rose fragrance. Pretty sure Olivia Rodrigo was like the cover girl for this, and I don't typically like fruit scents. I don't know, I guess it feels kind of young, but with this one, with the rose, it smells amazing. I have been obsessed with this for spring. It's fruity, but not sugary sweet. I didn't get this very long ago, but look at how much I've used of this. Though this one doesn't last as long as Jicky, this is more of like a fragrance you have to reapply. Oh, can't forget body care. Anything from L'Occitane, but specifically the Almond Line. You really can't go wrong with this whole range. And unlike the other two, this one is more of a cozy scent. Oh, I love it after a shower. Anyways, I love French brands, so let me know if you have any favorites in the comments or if there was any products that you really want to try out from watching this video. And please tag me if you use this tutorial. I would love to see your Jane Birkin inspired look. I wonder if any of you have been following me long enough to remember this video, but a long time ago I did do a Jane Birkin inspired transformation, but I genuinely didn't know who she was. Like, I was asked by a Canadian magazine, Flair, they don't print anymore, but it was like my first collaboration and I got to go in to their studio and film a video. I was so nervous. There was people in the room and I was like not comfortable speaking in front of them, and I literally asked them to leave so I could film. I tried my best, but like 10 years later, this is a better tutorial, though a lot of you ask where these clip-in bangs are from, and they were from that shoot. They were gifted, and you live and you learn. I think I've gotten much better at doing transformations and recreating iconic looks. If you want to keep on watching, I love Jean Shrimpton from the 60s as well, and I had so much fun recreating a Yardley ad and purchasing some real authentic 1960s products. Or for something a little more modern, you might like the Nina Park inspired makeup tutorial I did inspired by Emma Stone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.